miserable matchup for most of the other characters he does play. At least Palutena. Palutena at least has options to deal with a lot of Sonic stuff.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's absolutely 100% on the dad. I think Sonic is just... Palu's got those options to keep Sonic out. Obviously, such a brilliant zoner is Sonic. I'll charge Spin Dash from the other side of the stage, and you're going to fear it, and I'm going to maybe not let it rip. Instead, like the electric double dash attack. To just attack on 35%. If he wanted to, like, could run away now like most Sonics tend to do. But Spookylittleman is not most Sonics, let me tell you. He is an aggressive little gremlin who loves to run and strike when the iron is hot. But hot is that explosive flame that Lyto does throw out there, not finding its mark, but a charged Spin Dash into just a safe recovery. Because again, Lyto sat there like, I'm not getting hit by Spin Dash because I know what that does. Even if it's the side B spin. There we go, and we see the devastating effects there. But running back the dash backs coming out from Spookylittleman, recognized by Lyto, and then it's big damage on the part of Spookylittleman. Beautiful homing attack stall into a back air there.
Okay, now you might be getting too loud for that, so I sort of looked back as soon as you shouted that.
It's because he's getting hit, he didn't like it.
Well, yeah, that's fair. But yeah, Palutena has that invincible dash hack and back air. Those just two of the best options possible to get in on all of Sonic's mad hitboxes.
Just the fact that he can oppress you from that distance and greater, like that you just saw there, is insane. The fact that you're just sat there like, but what if he does let it rip? Like he did there, a huge back air let rip by Spookylittleman, who's going to land a down tilt and put Lyto into a situation where, again, just the threat of Sonic is enough. Like, this must be how Egg feels every day of his life, and I don't think it's a good feeling. Look at that, the ledge grab is going to come out, one into F smash 2 frame instead. It's the neutral get up into the F smash that is found instead. Spookylittleman takes stop 1, and most Sonics at this point, as I say, would just sit back, relax, take a load up, go and have a chili dog, have a pint in our brand new venue, but instead, we see Spookylittleman going in and leading an up smash for his efforts.
Maybe should have stayed back for a little while on that one. Hard call out with the up smash there. That's a bold option.
We look here. Yeah, but I said it King of the Hill, but like the smash attacks have become a more regular feature in Lyto's arsenal. He loves a bloody smash attack, and up smash especially because it's so good and lingers so long, is so tall and captures so many options in the air. Like it's pretty insane. Like Palu's, you know, the player base is pretty much pivoted towards being like, well, you know, she's honest enough. Yeah, she's not a Kazuya or a Steve. She's not a Sonic or
it's a dark day when you think Palu's honest. Yeah,
absolutely. You know, that's the narrative. But in trying to control the narrative here is Lyto, who gets spin jump for his troubles. Looking like SA1 here as Spookylittleman goes on a new adventure, sprinting straight in and wants to land an up air to start a chain. But Lyto just playing it patient and waiting for his mark, and a beautiful homing attack there, finding the pace and just spin jumping straight into an invincible back air and met with an explosive flame. And oh my lord, nearly all of the projectiles Palu has in stock. Unfortunately, not quite able to secure it there, and wants the down air instead. Spookylittleman opts to just air dodge safely back to stage. And here we go, we're reset, but the side B spin into a big back air is going to get things not quite equalized, but there we go. We are running into the 4th minute of competition here. Almost half elapses that timer, and the stocks are also almost half elapsed. Who's going to get that advantage though? Will it be Spookylittleman or will it be Lyto? A touch base here at 4 quarters. My name is Hallpunks, joined by Brain, of course, and here we see a ledge trap situation. That back air is uncompromising and very difficult to get around, but just we see there, just getting around the dash attack with the spin dash. That's insane. Beautiful work there. Spookylittleman managed to get around it, air dodging into safety, instead finding himself as he jumps into the net in less than a safe position and jumping again to get through using the spin dash into an explosive flame. 130%, but no kill fight yet, and Sonic is certainly powerful enough to take the stock just as suddenly as Palutena wants it there, and the invincible dash attack running all the way out. Spookylittleman, beautiful spring. Not catching a jump though, which I think is what Spooky wanted there.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by how patiently Lyto's been playing this. Like, especially against Sonic, you feel the need to just rush in all the time, so you don't want to let him get that lead and just start running away from you. Lyto's been very careful, letting Spookylittleman come in, meet him on his terms, and it's been paying off for him a lot.
I just love that. They get out of dodge. I'm fine, thank you. Here's my spring. Not quite enough to get around the auto rectal, and here we go. The nair tray almost at the station. Instead, it's the dash attack. Striking instead. Here we are, the forward air into shield, but now it's sort of Lyto's turn. Palutena, again, as I said before, no slouch when it comes to zoning. Can just sit back as much as she wants with those projectiles, with those invincible options, with that lovely neutral air. And here we go, we find Lyto, the more experienced player of the two, finding a lovely safe zone, stretching that little bit above and dashing back again. So used to these dash back habits that come out from Spookylittleman. A lovely down throw for there. Things are looking a little bit more dire, wanting the home attack. Simply Lyto instead of the back air.
Yeah, it's going to get the job done. That's what making a lot of use out of that explosive flame and disadvantage, which is, you know, its calling card.
What's that?
This is a face. It's
No, you have to drink it now. What is it? Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's pretty nice.
It's really nice.
Sure.
All right, here we go. Game 2 for me and for you. Here we go. Lyto 1. Oh.
I understand why I wouldn't want to drink the beer.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Oh god, that's definitely not going with a beer.
Can we change the score on here, or is it on that laptop?
It's on the laptop.
Here
The
we go.
mouse is just for decoration.
Fair enough. Here we go, big spin dash into the forward area there, and once again, whipping a dash attack there. Spookylittleman, I think this game's got to be way more aware of that dash back range that Lyto was able to exploit because of the fact that Spooky was just like dashing in and out as you would want from Sonic. Wants the 2-frame, but somehow Lyto straight in the face of Spooky and dodges the edge smash and gets a more than equalizing comeback there. Side B spin attack is coming out, but here we go. Straight back in it with a dash attack is Spookylittleman. Spooky, as I was just saying, needs to avoid those dash backs. And we've seen here a lot more dashing in, getting in the face of Lyto to try and avoid it. And there we go, Spring attack a little bit percent, taking advantage of Lyto's explosive flame, which I think I said again, Ed King of the Hero, and another bench. I've said that explosive flame is the move I most associate with Lyto, the Palu in my life who used it the most, and the one who I think used the most effectively, a sniper, looking like an intervention on high rise, is Lyto with that explosive flame 9 times out of 10. But sometimes you gotta put the intervention down, you gotta get your UMP silenced, and you gotta go in the faces of your opponents instead. And we see that now here with the net into the double forward. Wants a grab or a drag down of some kind, but isn't quite able to find it there. Instead, we get a forward into a dash attack, and a beautiful homing attack comes out from Spooky. But we've seen that percentage deficit rise and rise. Those fast fallers are very, very susceptible to things like that chasing up air, which Lyto quite clearly wanted. Instead settles for a massive lead, a massive deficit on Spooky's behalf here. We have to see a stop taken soon, but that invincible dash attack's going to say no to a spin dash, instead leaving Spooky in no man's land as he manages to barrel back on stage with a big spin dash. We've seen these little hits come out from Spooky, but these big hits have been so much less reliable. Lyto's been able to find those openings far more reliably, as we see here, jumping out of dodge once again. Spooky, big homing attack there to tackle that percent, but they're still lapped in terms of Lyto. We almost have a full stock lead here, and that's not what you want. I love the idea, but not quite finding it. The F tilt certainly would have been huge for Lyto, and the up tilt, or up air pardon, unfortunately wasn't for Spooky.
That's it. I'm just really been impressed by Lyto's composure this set. He never once let himself feel panicked or anything by the spin dash or whatever. He just played very calmly on his own terms. Let Swoop come into him, and then just got these crazy chains every time he saw an opening.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Palu's bread and butter is certainly buttered the bread here for Lyto, as we see the spring, which Spooky was using to mix it quite reliably, parried by Lyto, saying, I am used to this option. I'm pretty sure when you're going to throw it out, and it doesn't matter if you do. The 3-stock is looking pretty ripe right now. See if Lyto can harvest it here, as Spooky just struggles to get off the ledge. There we go, a lingering back air is going to land it, but not take a stock. Crucially, Spooky's looking in a pretty dire situation here, as 67% may not be too bad in terms of an isolated stock, but when you're 2 stocks down and you haven't killed Palutena as Sonic at 176, things start to question, what do I do here? Can I get around the Goddess of Light's big arsenal of great moves? And here we go, the homing attack even not in. Big move, but not finding it. There we go. Getting used to Palu's teleports there, which Lyto loves to mix up. He never teleports the same twice. Look the weight, and a beautiful air dodge too. Palu goes for the down aerial, but not finding it. Wants to just get out with dodge in a safe way, but no one is safe from that back air as the kill spot tells some fibs, and a neutral air running
That's
off.
not killing either, yeah.
For my lord. Wants the kill with the explosive flame, throws out the up smash, wants the 3-stock so massively, but finds a death to an up tilt instead. Great. You've
I
got
love
your
when
one
the kill
stop.
start just tells blatant lies to everyone watching.
Absolutely. It's certainly an interesting system that may or may not be truthful. I love the idea of just charging the spin attack after the down throw. You've great, you've teched it, but what if I spin dash you? Lyto saying, I don't really care if you do! I'm just going to throw an up smash tall and taking it all there. There we go. Beautiful up smash there from Lyto as Spookylittleman falls 2-0 to the Goddess of Light's face.